Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today's question: how do I get out of a toxic relationship? Let's all take a deep breath. How many of us have been there, experienced that, and often only months or years later, after having been with that person for so long? It takes the deepest courage, the greatest willpower, awareness, self-love. So taking those steps and making that happen is an incredibly brave thing to do. For all of you who have done that, I've known women who have done this, and they have my deepest respect and gratitude for what they have done. And this video hopefully will help you guys know how to do that a little bit easier. So, number one, you need to know that you're in a toxic relationship. If you've been relating to somebody for a while now, you're in certain patterns and behaviors with this person that are routine and of course are going to be familiar, normal, and that could mean that your behavior has changed, your personality has changed, that you're not quite the same person as you were before. So one of the first things to do in getting out of a toxic relationship, if you possibly can, number one, is to get distance. Okay, you need space. You need to get away where you can reflect and you can start to look in. You need that spaceship perspective of looking down onto the relationship so that you can start to see yourself from a distance. When you're in the emotions and you're in the trenches there with the person, it's very difficult to navigate. So you need distance, number one. Number two, you need to see this not as something that's going to be a moment where the earth suddenly opens up and everything's changed, or you wake up one day and things are different. No, those fantasies don't exist. You want to see this as, there's that saying, how do you eat an elephant? And that's one bite at a time. And I believe that's the same in helping you get out of a toxic relationship. It's by taking one step at a time. And that means that this is going to be a journey. The journey should not be towards the person. The journey should be towards yourself. Okay. And that means take the distance and start to get to know yourself. Here's how you get to know who you are. You got to ask yourself, what 4 things would you take out of a house that's burning down if everything that you loved and owned is inside that house? Meaning, what is most important to you? Get your priorities. 1, 2, 3, and 4. For myself, I'll take my children, I'll take my family, I'll take my work, and then 4th, I'll take my friends, okay? If I was in a relationship with somebody where it was toxic, those 4 things would be less. Those 4 things would be damaged. Those things would be under threat. So knowing what those 4 things are really helps you understand this could be toxic. This could be damaging the things that I love the most, and I haven't been seeing it. So what are your 4 things that you would take out of that burning house? That'll help you. It's important to know. That means you're knowing yourself more. No longer merged in toxicity, you're separating, and you're getting a stronger sense of yourself, right? Okay, so if those 4 things are being enhanced, for example, if I'm in a relationship with my children, they're having a greater, better experience, wow, that's wonderful, supportive, wonderful, beautiful energy. My family are being nourished and supported by my relationship, and they're loving my experience. If my work benefits, if I've got somebody who encourages me, supports me, and my work grows, my friendship circles, my social life that I really value, if that grows and deepens, I know that I'm in a healthy relationship. Again, if the opposite is happening, you know you're in a toxic relationship. And we're not going to spend this video pointing fingers and blaming and coming up with diagnoses and calling your partner this or that or the next thing. The person doesn't have to be toxic themselves. The person doesn't actually even have to be unhealthy. It could just be really poor relating skill on knowing how to support each other's values better. But in that case, the relationship will become toxic because you'll naturally try and draw that person into your values, and they'll be doing the same, and you both will become more independent and more and larger than the relationship. where it's more about me and my needs, not the relationship needs. Okay? So knowing that you're in a toxic relationship is also to identify that if you're with a person is more about the me and the I and less concerned about the we and the us, there's going to be problems. Okay? That person may need to be on their own, and they may need to prefer to be free, or perhaps they need to be doing healing. But if that we and the us has not been nourished, meaning that there's a reciprocal exchange of energy and support and love and accountability, okay, responsibility, then you're not in a grown-up, mature relationship. It could possibly be a toxic relationship, okay? So that would be a very helpful way to start to help you navigate and help to remove yourself from a toxic relationship. It's through self-empowerment, it's through self-awareness, guys. Get to know what your priorities are, know if they've been supported or not. That'll help you know whether or not it's time to start to make changes and shifts there, okay? Once you start to have a stronger sense of yourself and your values, the next thing that you can start to do is to start to get those things met more on your own, right? So for example, in my case with children, family, my work, and my social life, I would then choose to spend more time on those things, nourishing those things, without my partner, for example, okay? I'd start to build greater connections within my friends and my family and my work to create links there to help support me and to strengthen me and to give me very good feedback and support, love, to strengthen me so that I can remove myself from a toxic relationship. As your sense of self grows, you're going to start to be able to say no more. You'll be able to raise your middle fingers and do that, meaning you'll have better boundaries. We often enter relationships with very poor boundaries, and that's what results in a toxic relationship. We feel the pain in our bodies, we feel the anxiety, but we don't know how to say no, we don't know how to speak up for ourselves, we don't know how to get those things out there so that the other person knows where our no is, where the line is drawn. So it's through that self-awareness again, understanding who you are, and being supported by people outside of the relationship, you'll be able to greater understand where your boundaries are. As those boundaries get more and more violated, let's say, and attacked, you will normally now start to realize how unhealthy the relationship is, and you will naturally start to gravitate away from it. You'll start to become more comfortable, and it'll become normal to assert your boundaries. And as all of this happens, you'll gain confidence and you'll gain self-respect, because you'll be able to recognize that I can say no and I'm still going to be okay. I can say no and I will be okay. Therefore, I'm no longer dependent on this person. I can make other choices and other decisions. And this will start to help you to get out of a toxic relationship. So I hope this video was helpful. Just some thoughts. There's many other things that one can look at, of course. If you do need support and further advice, please contact us here on Unbound Coaching. Otherwise, check out our books as well. The Unbound Heart's just been released. Some great stories there on healing that you may find inspiring. Otherwise, please, pop us a message here and we can certainly help you out with some coaching. Until then, please subscribe, push the like button, sending love and light, courage. Remember, one step at a time. All the best.